Look at this beautiful quilt block. Well, it's more than a block, and I'll show you in a minute. I call this Ripple Squares because to me, it's like the squares are rippling out, like when you toss a pebble in a pond. This is so beautiful, might be the prettiest one I've done, but also one of the most labor intensive. Why is that? Because this is 64 half square triangles. And if you make your HSTs, you know that 64 of them is a lot. But it was so well worth it. Choose a white and a black because that's what makes a dramatic square, and then just one print to go with it. I chose some butterflies that we have, and I'll put a link to the butterfly fabric in the description if you want it. But this was so great. I'll tell you, I made my HSTs 32 at a time. We've done a video on that, how you can do it too. My HSTs measure out at 2.5 inches finished. So I started with 13-inch squares of fabric, you know, face to face, and I made 32 at a time. You can go find that video if you like it. I'm going to show you how to piece this together. Once you get all of these half square triangles together, well, then you can take a breather first and then just decide to lay this out and take your time. The center of this is all, I'm just going to call it butterflies because that's my print, with the white border. Now, once you've done that, you want to take your black fabric and on each side make a peak. Like there's a black peak right there. I want to do that on each of the sides of this. When I first did this, I was like, oh my goodness, I needed to look at a picture so many times to figure it out because it sounds confusing, but when I started to do it, it really wasn't bad. So here are my peaks, right? Now the rest of this, if you remember, it's a square of butterflies, which I almost have right here. Look, my peak is backwards. Now it's correct. My butterfly square is almost complete, but it's not yet. So grab some more of these butterflies with white and fill them in on the corners, okay? That's how we start this. So then the next part is we're going to make our next peak. Oh boy, when I'm looking at this, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I'm going to make my next peak out of butterflies. Again, on each of these 4 corners, okay? So stay with your butterflies in white, making a peak here, and a peak out here, and then one here. Because the trick to this whole thing is that these peaks, these points, when they go out, up and down, and left and right from the center, they should always point out. But all of these diagonals, they should always point in. So look, I am about to make a white square around this whole thing. You can see I've got half of it done. But remember, on this finished thing, it's an alternating black and white. Okay, so I don't want a full white square. I want black pieces in here. So take all of your blacks and fill them in right here. And this is how you get this whole thing started. Now, it's not difficult, and as we do this, you can see the whole thing taking shape. You just keep building out. Remember, when you're coming out from the center, these up and down, left and right, those peaks point out, all the rest point in. Now, to assemble this, when you have 64 of these, same old story. Do not assemble an entire row at a time. Do them in 2s. So like I did 2, 2, 2, and 2, and 2. I had a whole set of 2s. Then I joined 2s together and made 4s and made 4s, and I made 8s. That's how you build it out. Don't do it row by row. You will not be happy with the result. So yes, it's a lot of work, but it was so worth it. And the result, I think, like I said, I think this could be one of the prettiest things we've ever done. So I hope you give Ripple Squares a try, and happy sewing.